Level 1. The free trial. You are lying in bed, scrolling aimlessly through your phone at 11:30 p.m. The screen's blue light reflects in your tired eyes. Suddenly, a sleek minimalist pop-up appears. Start your 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime. You pause. Your rational brain thinks, I'll just set a calendar reminder and cancel it on day 29. I get a month of premium features for absolutely $0. I am outsmarting a billion-dollar corporation. You tap the button. The biometric scan flashes green. You feel a microdose of satisfaction, like a digital Robin Hood stealing fire from the gods. Fast forward 3 months, you never set that calendar reminder. In fact, you completely forgot the app even existed on page 3 of your smartphone home screen. Every month, quietly and flawlessly, a transaction for $14.99 passes through your account. When you finally spot it while scrolling through your banking app on a Sunday morning, you don't call customer service. You don't throw a fit. You just shrug. It's only $15, you mutter to yourself. It's less than the price of a decent lunch. No big deal. But you didn't buy a lunch. You walked blindly into Goldyolk's first and most elegant trap. He didn't have to steal your money. He just relied on your inertia. Goldyolk's systems are built on a mathematical certainty. Human laziness and cognitive inertia are the most reliable, predictable revenue streams on Earth. He gives you something for free because he knows that once a service enters your life, the friction of actively removing it is psychologically higher than the passive pain of paying for it. Goldyolk's money rule. The free trial is not a gift. It is a behavioral exploit. Convenience is the highest recurring tax you will ever pay. You aren't buying a service, you are signing a micro lease on your future income. Level 2, the exhaustion reward. It's 5:30 p.m. on a brutal Tuesday. You just survived a soul-crushing performance review or an endless circular meeting with your micromanaging boss. Your posture is ruined, your eyes ache, and your mental energy is at absolute zero. On your grim walk to the subway, you pass a beautifully lit boutique bakery. The smell of cinnamon and roasting coffee beans drifts out. You step inside and order a $7 artisan oat milk latte and a $9 gold leaf pastry. I worked hard today, you tell yourself. I survived. I deserve a little treat to make it through the week. It feels exactly like self-care. It feels like you are reclaiming a tiny, sovereign piece of your dignity from a corporate machine that treats you like a line-item expense. For exactly 12 minutes, as you sit by the window and sip that warm beverage, the world feels soft. Then, the cup is empty, the sugar crash hits, and you are still the same exhausted, underpaid employee sitting on a crowded train just $16 poorer. Your problems haven't moved an inch. Goldyolk didn't sell you food or caffeine. He sold you an emotional painkiller. The entire macroeconomic system is explicitly engineered to drain your life force from 9 to 5, leaving you with just enough residual willpower to seek instant transactional comfort. Goldyolk designed the bakery right next to your exit route because he knows that an exhausted mind cannot practice financial discipline. Goldyolk's money rule. Micro-indulgences are the pacifiers of modern wage laborers. Your exhaustion is their most reliable commodity. They break your spirit during the day, so you will pay them to temporarily patch it up at night. Level 3. The anchor illusion. You are browsing a high-end clothing website late at night. You see a designer winter jacket. The original price is crossed out in a bold, authoritative, bright red font, $450. Beneath it, the current sale price glows like a beacon of financial salvation, $180. Your brain's survival systems trigger an immediate calculation. That's 60% off! I'm practically making $270 by clicking this button right now. You select your size and hit checkout, feeling an immense wave of pride. You think you just outsmarted a luxury retailer. Let's pour freezing water on your small victory. That jacket was never meant to be sold for $450. It cost exactly $14 to manufacture using synthetic nylon in an automated overseas factory. The $450 retail price was a ghost, a carefully calculated hallucination manufactured by Goldyolk's pricing architects. They dropped that massive number into your mind as an anchor. Once your brain accepts the anchor, any lower price feels like a profound victory, regardless of the object's actual worth. You didn't wake up this morning needing a jacket. You didn't leave the house with a budget for it. You were completely passive until Goldyolk created a fake problem and handed you a fake discount as the solution. You didn't save $270. You surrendered $180 of your hard-earned liquid capital for a piece of fabric that will sit in your closet for 11 months of the year. Goldyolk's money rule. A discount is not money saved, it is money spent under psychological duress. You did not outsmart the retail architecture, you were manipulated into celebrating your own financial drainage. Level 4. The frictionless disassociation. You are at an upscale organic grocery store. You've piled your cart high with premium volcanic salt, exotic hot sauces you'll use exactly once, import chocolates, and artisanal sparkling water. You push the cart to the register. The cashier scans the items, and the digital screen flashes the total, $185.50. You don't flinch. You don't open a physical wallet. You merely lift your phone, double-click the side button, let Face ID scan your retina, and a delightful musical times ding times chimes out. Payment approved. The entire event took less than a second. It feels seamless, like digital magic. It feels as if the groceries were practically a gift from the universe. You grab your eco-friendly bags and walk out into the parking lot, completely disassociated from the financial reality of what just occurred. Your brain didn't register a loss because there was no physical weight to the transaction. If you had been forced to pull out a leather wallet, count 9 crisp, physical $20 bills, hand them to a human being, and watch your physical stack of cash violently shrink in size, your brain would have fired intense pain receptors. Goldyolk spent decades and billions of dollars refining financial technology for one single purpose: to anesthetize the psychological pain of paying. By turning money into a frictionless biometric thumbprint, he broke your primary natural defense mechanism against overspending. Goldyolk's money rule. Frictionless commerce is the financial anesthesia of modern capitalism. When money loses its physical mass, it loses its psychological resistance. You aren't buying goods. You are giving a biometric thumbs up to your own economic erasure. Level 5. The Better Me Illusion. You are watching a highly polished documentary on YouTube about high-performance individuals, creative agencies, and ultimate productivity. A profound wave of ambition hits your chest. You decide, right then and there, that you are going to learn advanced film editing, launch a massive digital side hustle, and completely rewrite your destiny. But you look at your current laptop. It's slightly scratched. The keyboard is worn. I can't build a creative empire on this junk, you think. To be a professional, I must own professional gear. You open a new tab and put a $2,800 top-spec MacBook Pro on your credit card. The morning it arrives, you unbox it with near-religious reverence. Peeling that thick, pristine plastic film off the aluminum chassis gives you a massive, intoxicating rush of dopamine. In that exact second, you feel like a filmmaker, a business owner, an elite creator. But let's look at your calendar 4 weeks later. The laptop is sitting on your duvet, warm, being used exclusively to stream high-definition movies or scroll through social media feeds. The editing software hasn't even been launched once. Goldyolk didn't sell you a processing tool. He sold you the cheap sentiment of being a productive person without requiring you to do any of the grueling, actual work. He monetized your deep desire for self-improvement. He knows it is infinitely easier for a consumer to buy the uniform of a successful person than it is to build the habits of one. Goldyolk's money rule. Identity-driven consumption allows you to purchase a fantasy of who you want to be, engineered to bankrupt who you actually are. Capital does not want you to achieve your potential. It wants to rent you the reflection of it. Level 6. The contagious upgrade. You decide to treat yourself to a beautiful, minimalist, handcrafted leather phone case for $65. It feels incredible in your hand, smelling of rich Italian tanneries. You place your phone down on your cheap, mass-produced particle board work desk that you bought in college. Suddenly, a strange distortion happens in your mind. The desk looks hideous. The fake wood veneer looks pathetic next to the Italian leather. So, you spend $400 on a solid walnut standing desk, but now your old plastic office chair looks absurd and out of place against the walnut. You drop $850 on an ergonomic mesh chair. Within 2 months, you are repainting your entire room and buying $120 minimalist desk lamps. You tell your friends that you are simply curating your aesthetic or investing in your environment. You genuinely believe you are demonstrating refined taste. You don't realize you've been infected by a highly contagious financial pathogen known to history as the Diderot effect. Goldyolk's product engineers do not create isolated items. They design ecosystems of dissatisfaction. They build objects that intentionally clash with your current reality, forcing a chain reaction of forced upgrades that you never intended to make. Goldyolk's money rule. The Diderot effect is a consumerist virus. You are never purchasing a singular luxury item. You are purchasing a permanent state of disharmony with everything else you own. They don't sell products, they sell the inadequacy of your current life. Level 7. The scarcity panic. You are scrolling through Instagram on a Thursday evening. A streetwear or watch brand you follow posts a stark, ominous graphic, the Vault series. Only 300 numbered pieces worldwide, never to be re-released. A digital countdown timer ticks down underneath the post, 0 hours, 3 minutes, and 12 seconds. Your pulse visibly accelerates. Your palms get slightly damp. You don't even particularly like the design. The color palette is aggressively loud. The price is flat out ridiculous. But as the timer hits 0, you find your fingers flying across the checkout interface with frantic speed. When the confirmation screen flashes, you lean back, letting out a heavy breath. Thank God, you whisper. I got one. But who were you fighting against? Nobody. You weren't a hunter tracking rare game. You were the prey running directly into an open enclosure. Goldyolk sits in his boardrooms, analyzing real-time data charts. His factories have the supply chains to manufacture 3 million of those units for pennies. He ordered exactly 300. He artificially restricted supply because he knows that the human brain contains ancient Paleolithic wiring. When resources are scarce, logic shuts down, and animalistic panic takes over. He took your primitive survival reflex and redirected it toward overpriced polyurethane sneakers and limited edition plastic figurines. Goldyolk's money rule. Artificial scarcity is the weaponization of manufactured panic. Capital converts your intellectual indifference into desperate animalistic competition. You aren't paying for an exclusive object. You are paying a premium to extinguish an anxiety they deliberately engineered. Level 8. The social tax. You finally get the massive promotion you've been killing yourself for. Your corporate salary jumps by 35%. You feel like you've broken through the glass ceiling. Naturally, you move out of your cramped suburban apartment and rent a modern luxury loft downtown, with floor-to-ceiling windows and a rooftop pool. You stop going to the local dive bar and start meeting your colleagues at sleek cocktail lounges, where a single drink costs $24. You buy structured clothing with quiet, recognizable hardware. You post snippets of your weekend truffle brunches on your social stories. You look successful. You feel like an insider. But if you perform an honest autopsy on your finances at the end of the month, a horrific truth emerges. You are making far more money than you did 3 years ago, but your liquid savings account is growing at an even slower rate. You are completely broke at a much higher income bracket. You aren't buying objects for their functional utility, you are paying an unwritten, non-negotiable entry fee to look like you belong to a specific social class. Goldyolk designed this invisible treadmill. He ensures that every time you climb up a rung on the economic ladder, the intense social pressure to display that income consumes every single excess dollar you pull in. Goldyolk's money rule. Lifestyle creep is a core architectural feature of the credit economy, not a personal failure. Your premium lifestyle is simply an increased operating cost for remaining a highly dependent, well-behaved corporate asset. You buy social currency with actual freedom. Level 9. The debt normalization. You are at a digital checkout screen looking at a premium $600 leather jacket or a home sound system. You hesitate. Your internal financial radar flashes yellow $600 is a significant chunk of your liquid monthly income. You are about to close the browser tab, but then, right below the total price, a smooth, friendly, bright purple widget appears. Buy now, pay later. 4 interest-free installments of $150. Instantly, the psychological weight of the $600 price tag evaporates into thin air. $150 is nothing, you justify to yourself. That's just a weekend night out. You click confirm. Over the next 4 months, you execute this exact maneuver 4 more times on different websites for shoes, tech gadgets, and designer luggage. Suddenly, your financial reality shifts. You wake up on the first of the month, and 65% of your paycheck is already legally spoken for and automated out of your bank account before your hand even touches the money. Goldyolk didn't just want the liquid capital you have in your pockets today. That pool of money was far too small for his ambitions. He targeted your future time, your future mental peace, and your future years spent trapped inside a cubicle, engineering a mechanism to harvest and compound your future labor right now. Goldyolk's money rule. Microcredit mechanisms are Trojan horses wrapped in the language of consumer democratization. Credit is not an empowering financial instrument for the buyer. It is a permanent behavioral leash. They aren't selling products, they are buying your future life at a massive discount. Level 10. The ultimate therapy. It's 10 p.m. on a gloomy Sunday night. The Sunday scaries are pressing down on your chest like a block of concrete. You feel an acute sense of emptiness, a profound anxiety about the corporate meat grinder awaiting you tomorrow morning, and an overwhelming loneliness that seems endemic to our hyper-connected but hyper-isolated world. You don't know how to repair the deep, aching void in your stomach. So, you unlock your phone. You open an e-commerce application. You scroll. Your eyes lock onto an object you don't need it. It serves zero actual purpose in your life, but it is beautifully designed, and the button promises same-day delivery by tomorrow morning. You tap the screen. For a brief, incandescent moment when that cardboard package hits your doorstep the next day, the chronic sadness halts. The dopamine surge hits your neural pathways. You tear the box open. The visceral thrill of ownership lasts exactly until the empty cardboard packaging is thrown into the outdoor recycling bin. Then, like clockwork, the cold emptiness returns, heavier and deeper than before, demanding another transaction to keep it at bay. This is Goldyolk's absolute masterpiece. He did not just build a system that sells products, he helped architect an entire society that systemically isolates you, overworks you, and strips away your community, and then he positions consumerism as the only available cure. Goldyolk's ultimate rule. The ultimate triumph of the financial architect is convincing you that consumption is the medicine for the structural misery that their own economic system manufactured. You don't keep buying things because you are weak. You buy because you are seeking a soul inside an empire designed to liquidate it. Welcome to the game. Learn the rules or be played.